When I was a child, my father and I lived in a small farm town about 100 miles south of Chicago. It was just the two of us, no other family. When I was 7 or 8, Dad developed a problem with his skin, where the skin came off and it was weeping. It started on his face and gradually moved down his body. The way he handled it was to cut a sheet into strips, then wrap himself like a mummy so the strips would absorb the weeping. Every night he'd unpeel the strips from his face and from his body and soak them in the bathtub with Clorox so he had more to put on the next day. The doctor in our town could do nothing for him, but said, "I want you to go into Chicago to see a well-known dermatologist." So, 30 miles an hour, we drove 100 miles to see the dermatologist. The doctor gave Dad pills and salves, but nothing worked. His skin just kept coming off. One day, someone told Dad about a nun in a nearby town who had a devotion to a holy man named Martin de Porres, who was being considered for sainthood. If Dad would go over there, this person was certain the nun would be able to help him. So Dad went. She gave him prayers to say, and then handed him what we call a relic, a very tiny piece of cloth that had been touched to the bones of this holy man. Well, Dad started saying the prayers and blessing himself with that relic, and his affliction began to recede and recede and recede. When we went back to the dermatologist in Chicago, he was very surprised. He said, "I don't know how this is happening, but what I can tell you is that if this all goes away, you're going to be horribly scarred." But Dad was completely healed. No scars. Martin de Porres was eventually canonized. His feast day is November 3rd, the day he died. Coincidentally, or maybe not, November 3rd also happens to be my birthday.